Your summer starts now with Memorial Day deals at the Home Depot. It's time to fire up summer cookouts with the Next Grill 4-burner gas grill on special buy for only $199. And entertain all season with the Hampton Bay West Grove 7-piece outdoor dining set for only $499. This Memorial Day, get low prices guaranteed at the Home Depot. While supplies last, price and valid May 14th through May 27th. U.S. only, exclusions apply. See homedepot.com/price match for details.
So good, so good, so good.
Everything you want for summer is at Nordstrom Rack stores now, and up to 60% off. Stock up and save on the brands you love like Vince, Sam Edelman, Frame, and Free People. Join the Nordy Club to unlock exclusive discounts, shop new arrivals first, and more. Plus, buy online and pick up at your favorite Rack store for free. Great brands, great prices. That's why you Rack.
It's Deprogram, the podcast where we try to get you into a band. That's right. We've done all the work for you. All you have to do is press play and listen. It's really as simple as that. Today is, well, I guess Wednesday. It's not Wednesday when we're recording this. You know, just a little peek behind the curtains of Deprogrammed and podcasting. We don't always record day of. As a matter of fact, we rarely ever do. Today is a day in the middle of the week, which means it's a daily pod, which means we aren't doing what we would normally do, which is try to turn you onto a band. So you may have noticed, if you're subscribed, and if you're not, please take a moment to do so. Hit that subscribe button. Would greatly appreciate it. But you may have noticed that we've started doing people's top 5 concerts, and we've had John and we've had Joe so far. And Bryan reached out to me like a week, well, actually, technically a couple weeks ago, saying, hey, I'm going to be free this time. And then you said, hey, man, I'm free these dates. I'd love to do this. And Bryan, you said you wanted to do your top 5 concerts. So I'm going to get out of the way and I'm going to leave you the floor.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, it's awesome being here. I haven't been on the show in a while, so it's awesome to get back in some facet when I got some free time.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I listened to the other ones. I listened to the dailies. I was like, yeah, I can talk about concerts. So the way that I kind of took this, like a lot of people, they were talking about like their favorite acts or, things that they saw. For me, so when I say like a concert, I'm going to use the term a little loosely too with one of my picks. Like to me, it's the full experience. Mm-hmm. It's from the time you brush your teeth in the morning until you get home that night. It honestly is. Because I'm a very like fickle person, and I've gotten worse as I've gotten older. If something happens to me during the day that puts me in a bad mood, it ruins my whole day. And it will ruin, like, I'll go to concerts and just stand there because I'm a jerk. So I'll just like stand there with like arms crossed, all angry because like I can't get over something that happened earlier. I know it doesn't seem like I'm that way. Like on the show, I'm very positive and happy, but that's a persona. No, I'm usually pretty happy, optimistic, but like I said, I get put in snits pretty easily. So I have a couple like honorable mentions. Like these could have been on the list, but like something happened and it made the experience not 100%. And when I talk about a show, I mean the whole show, the opening act, if there's a middle act, the closer, like just really great experiences. Sometimes they're not in the hands of the artist, and sometimes they are. I just want to give like a quick honorable mention. My first concert ever, my dad took me for my 15th birthday, was Bob Seger.
Wow.
In Hartford, and it was awesome. It was really awesome. I was for my 15th birthday. Can't remember the name of the album that just came out, but like my dad was a big Bob Seger fan, and like I got really into him as well. So that was awesome. Another honorable mention is going to be another throwback band. The first time I saw Leonard Skinner, which is again wild, but I saw Leonard Skinner in like '99 with my buddy Ryan, who I'm going to mention a lot. Ryan, who I do the show with occasionally. We used to go to a lot of concerts together. It was me, Ryan, my buddy Keith, and Anthony, my girlfriend at the time, Heather, who's now my wife. We used to go to a lot of shows together and hang out together. So first time seeing Leonard Skinner, it was just me, Heather, Ryan, and his girlfriend at the time, and it was awesome. I do have to honorable mention the first time I saw Pearl Jam. Pearl Jam was huge, came out when I was, 12 years old. So, they did come to Hartford a bunch in the 90s, but, I wasn't allowed to go to, rock concert when I was 15 years old, except for Bob Seger with my dad. So I didn't get to see Pearl Jam until 2003. And you'd be like, oh, like this is your all-time favorite band. Your first time being in the same room and breathing Eddie Vedder's air isn't on your list. So this is kind of a famous show. It's called Mansfield 3. John, Randy, other Pearl Jam heads will know what that means. Basically they about a month or two before the show, they said that they were going to do a third show in Mansfield, Massachusetts, this little town about 20 miles south of Boston. And though they were going to do a third show, and over those 3 shows, they're going to play like every song in their catalog. So I got tickets to it. I was pumped. This was 2003. So I wasn't like internet savvy back then, really, in 2003. And I didn't know that they were going to play, in order to play all their songs, they were going to play an acoustic set pre Slater-Kenny, the opening band, at like 6:30. So I'm sitting in traffic in like Providence, and my buddy Anthony, who's there with Ryan, calls me. He's like, dude, where are you? I'm like, I'm in Providence. I'm like almost there. I'm like 25 minutes away. And he's like, dude, Pearl Jam is on right now. Dude, I mean, you could imagine. It sent me, I was spiraling. So yeah, they played a 1-hour acoustic set. Then Sleater-Kinney came out, played their set, and then Pearl Jam came back out and played another 3 hours. So they ended up playing 4 hours that night. And so Mansfield 3 is like a historic show. So when I tell people, how's it Mansfield 3? And they're like, oh, it's so awesome. But I missed the 1 hour. I missed the 1 hour acoustic set. Once everything started and I calmed down, I did get there. I did get into the groove of the band and everything. But yeah, that was bad. Again, that's an outside thing. I had another outside thing bother me at a Pearl Jam show. The last time I saw them at Fenway, I had like an ear infection or something going. Shit to start with, but everything was vibrating in my ear and I couldn't hear a fucking thing. All I heard was all night. That was terrible. So
you said this place was steps from the water.
We just haven't found the steps yet.
How much did we save?
Enough.
Enough to get lost?
Or you could book a stay with Hilton.
Welcome to your oceanfront room, just steps from the water.
The Hilton sale is on now. Book on Hilton.com or the Hilton app and save up to 20% to get the stay you expected. When you want savings, not surprises, it matters where you stay. Hilton, for the stay.
Ready to soundtrack your summer? With Red Bull Summer All Day Play, you choose a playlist that fits your summer vibe the best. Are you a festival fanatic, a deep end DJ, a road dog, or a trail mixer? Just add a song to your chosen playlist and put your summer on track. Red Bull Summer All Day Play. Red Bull gives you wings. Visit redbull.com/brightsummer ahead to learn more. See you this summer.
That'll do it.
That's it. So my top 5 here. Okay, so I'm gonna start here. taking the word concert kind of loosely here. So here I live in a small town in central Connecticut. It's very like small. It's very like small. They try to be like small, New Englandy. We have every year in October we have this like a festival, of the Apple Harvest Festival, and every year every year pre-COVID they got a band to come play. And this might seem crazy, and I hope to do the show on them at some point. This is the most important band in making me who I am. And you're not gonna believe who it is.
I have no idea.
When I was a kid, I would listen to like pop music and like hip hop and that. This band crossed over. They were like a pop. They had two big pop hits, but when you bought the record, none of the songs were pop. They were jam band. They were like acid rock. They were the Spin Doctors.
Wow.
This is the band that got me into rock music. My first rock album I ever bought was the Spin Doctors' Pocket Full of Kryptonite.
Great record.
In 2019, they played on the town green here in Southington for free. And it was like it's 2 miles from my house. I'm like, oh, well, we gotta go see Spin Doctors. Like, and you're like, okay, you saw the Spin Doctors for free on your town green. It was awesome. Like no pyrotechnics, obviously. It's just a little town green in a little like New England town, and like all the 40-year-olds from Southington are there. And it was just such an awesome experience that like it's like one of the best like shows I've ever been to, like even though it's not really like what you would think of as like a concert,
Mm-hmm.
So that's number 5. Number 4, again, this is going to be a surprising one. I didn't find the year. I did try to look it up. If I'm going to guess, I'm going to say 2012 or to 14 area. My wife loves country music. I didn't really get into country. Like I liked Neil Young and like Graham Parsons and stuff like that. But like I didn't get really into country until later. I got into him with Zach Brown, but my wife is a big fan of what the hell's her name? Miranda Lambert. So this is going to be wild. So the tickets went on sale the day before my wife's birthday, and the concert was on our wedding anniversary in August. The concert was August 18th. And the opening band I actually liked. I knew them. They're called Brothers Osborne. But like the whole thing was just such an experience. And one thing that like I take like when I say like this is my favorite show, my favorite band, or my favorite concert is were you captivated? Like, and when I tell you Miranda Lambert owned that fucking place, like I was in awe, like at her command, at the way she just held the audience like in her palm. Like it's not like my type of music, and just the fact that like she drew me in so hard is like, this is what you want, right? Like this is what you want at a show, is you want to be like taken away from your outside life and you want to escape for a couple hours. Like I like fell in love with her like that night. Towards the end of the show, somebody in the crowd held up this sign. So they were stationed in Afghanistan in like the early 2000s, and they held up a sign that said like, your music got me through Afghanistan. And like she started to cry on stage. Aww. Like she's like bawling, and I'm like, I want to go up there and hug her. Like, and it was just like the whole night. It was a perfect night. Like I said, it was our wedding anniversary. Like it was like everything was just absolute roses, you know, just a great night altogether. Um so then all right. So number 3. So again, this is kind of taking concert loosely. It was a concert. Um I actually had to look up because I forgot half the bands I saw that day. But I looked it up, and one of them actually surprised me. I wish I remembered this more. I kind of created a false memory, like, oh yeah, I definitely remember that. So in the year 2000, our local radio station, Radio 104, they would do these like a festival. It was the 104 Fest. So this is the year 2000. I went with Ryan, our friend Keith's girlfriend at the time, also Heather. So we were all like, 19-year-olds. I was 20, and then like just set loose at the Meadows Music Theater for the day. It was hot, but it was one of those days where it's hot and you just don't fucking care. And just walking around with everybody, just all these different bands. We saw a Dynamite Hack.
Nice.
Remember they did that cover of Boys in the Hood?
Yeah.
We saw them, and when we walked up to the stage, it just happened to be playing that song. And I'm like, yeah, I think it was like, it might have been like when they started playing that, like everyone ran towards that stage. And like, because they didn't give a fuck about whatever else Dynamite Hack did. So the main stage that night, this is the one that I saw listed, and I don't remember it. I wish I did. Three Doors Down played.
Whoa.
So yeah, and they were new back then. I do remember Ryan was obsessed with that song Kryptonite. I think Ryan signed me up to do a show on Three Doors Down, deprogrammed. He was obsessed with that song Kryptonite, and when I saw it listed on because I like looked it up for research, and I was like, I don't remember Three Doors Down being there, but then I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I kind of do. Eve 6 we saw. I definitely remember seeing Eve
Nice.
6. Catherine Wheel.
Hell yeah.
I don't know them. Yeah, they were there. They were awesome. And then the third, so the main acts were Seven Dust and Creed. I'm gonna make all the Pearl Jam fans like cringe now. But like, I love Creed. I'm sorry.
No need to apologize.
For them, the song of the band before them was fucking Veruca Salt.
Oh, wicked.
Like, I saw fucking Veruca Salt, and then Seven Dust. My first time seeing Seven Dust. This was when Home came out. I mean, Creed fucking like lived up to it because they were like the main headliner. But every time I see Seven Dust, they're always an opener, and they always make the opening band just feel really bad about themselves. Seven Dust, I don't know what Seven Dust does that's so special, but they just blew everything away. Earlier that year, Creed and Seven Dust were on tour together. This was their second time in Connecticut. They played earlier in Connecticut in New Haven Coliseum, which is gone now. We went to that show. And what almost takes points off this for me is that Creed played the same set list in both shows. I think they just play like one solid set list, and then that's all they play. But Creed played the same set list in New Haven and Hartford, like 6 months apart. Seven Dust, they repeated like Bitch and Black, and then like a couple songs off Home, like because they have to, like A Denial and Waffle. But like Seven Dust played a ton of stuff off the first record, and then a bunch of deep stuff off of Home. And they just blew it apart. So like I said, it was just an awesome, fun night. Yeah, I got, we got home at like 1 a.m. We were it was just a great fucking day altogether. All right. So that brings me number 2. This is in 2003. 2003, my wife's uncle, my wife's family is big into meatloaf. And this is this is where I became a Meatloaf fan. Cyndi Lauper opened for Meatloaf.
Oh man.
And you want to talk about fucking captivated. Again, I'm going into this knowing like 2 Meatloaf songs and like the 2 Cyndi Lauper songs. I couldn't even tell you what happened around me that night. My eyes never left the stage. Like never. It was 2003. So like, we weren't all like staring at phones yet. Like I never looked at a person around me. I don't remember even looking at my wife. I don't remember, well, she was my wife then, but like, I don't remember anything around me. It felt like it was me and Meatloaf in the room, and that was it. Like it was, I mean, I hate to keep using the word, but it was captivating. Like, he came out and he just immediately came out with, I Want My Money Back. I remember that. And everything he did was just, I can't even explain his stage presence. And Cyndi Lauper, like, again, going into it just knowing like True Colors and Girls Want to Have Fun, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, she's fine, I guess. Just absolutely took everything away from me. It was just a fucking fantastic show, and again, everything went perfectly, so I was able to enjoy the show. All right. So number 1, I talked about 2 bad experiences at Pearl Jam shows. Number 1, I gotta go with the Pearl Jam show, of course. So this was in 2010. Usually when they played in Hartford, so I saw them in Mansfield. That was like one of those like inside outside kind of things. You know how like every area has one of those concert venues. It's usually called like the Meadows or Great Woods or something like that. So when I saw them in Mansfield, that was like an indoor outdoor kind of stadium. We were inside. And then I saw them a bunch in Hartford at the Meadows, and we were on the lawn each time. One time, I mean, they were all great when I saw them at the Meadows. Every single one was fantastic. One of them, we were currently like arguing with one of my friends, so like we bought tickets together, but like we didn't stand near each other at all, so that made it kind of weird. But we saw them in 2010 in Hartford in the Harvard Civic Center, so this is an inside venue. How the roof didn't fucking collapse, I have no idea. Like 3rd song in, Eddie broke the microphone stand, and he's like, I guess it's gonna be one of those nights. If you ever go back to the Pearl Jam like live podcast from the other guys, it was like they talk about it, and Randy especially, because he this is where like he used to live, and it was the most energetic like show I have ever been to. Like every person around us just belting out every word to every song. This was by far the best Pearl Jam show I've ever seen. Like we were farther back. I'm not into the whole like, getting up to like the stage. Like that's not my scene. Like I wouldn't want to do that. That seems like a fucking nightmare to me.
Especially nowadays.
Just because of like my anxieties and everything. That. So like if I can sit towards the back and still like, it was, oh my God. when they did like a live, like the house lights were on and everything about it was just like absolutely fucking perfect. We were there. So we had like a four ticket limit. Because it was inside. Usually we see them on the lawn and you can get as many tickets as you want, or you can, stand like wherever you want. So it didn't matter. So we were going with a whole group, and me and Heather had tickets separate from everybody else. So I'm like, oh, this sucks. Like, what are we going to do? And my buddy Anthony is like, dude, it's a Pearl Jam show. Just ask somebody to trade seats with you. It's not a big deal. So like, I'm thinking it's going to be a disaster, because I'm, that's how I am. And so like, we go to there's two people sitting like right behind our friends, like Keith and Anthony and this other kid, Kevin. And I don't think Ryan was actually at that show. I think Ryan had already moved to South Carolina at that point. There were two people sitting behind them, and me and Heather's tickets were actually closer to the stage. And I'm like, hey, do you mind trading tickets with us? Like, these are our friends. And, they bought 4 tickets and like we couldn't, and they were like, yeah, sure, dude. Like, like, cause that's how it is. That's how it is there. And they're like, yeah, of course, man. Yeah, no problem. So like they took our tickets and like I pointed to where they were and the guy gave me a thumbs up. He's like, yeah, I can't wait, man. It's gonna be great. And it was just like an awesome night. Again, just who opened for them? Band of Horses opened for them, who I didn't know, but they became a big fan of. Just hear like The Funeral once, and it's like one of the greatest songs of all time. And then Band of Horses, the lead singer, came out later to do what was the song he did? I keep thinking Knock on Heaven's Door, but it's not Knock on Heaven's Door. It's oh man, Jimi Hendrix covered it. The Bob Dylan song Jimi Hendrix covered.
Oh,
All Along the Watchtower.
Yeah,
Watchtower. They came out and did Watchtower together, like the Bob Dylan version, not the Jimmy version. But it was awesome. They did a cover of Van Halen that night, and they're like, this is the only time we've played it, and we're never gonna play it again. They did play it again 3 years later, also in Hartford. It was Ain't Talking About Love. Ain't Talking About Love. They came out and played, and yeah, it was just a freaking awesome night. So there you go. There are my top 5 shows.
What I love,
boom.
Yeah, what I love about this though is you set your parameters differently, but to me, like they're equal. Like it's all about the story anyway, right? Like it's all about the story of the show. And look, we've all said this. It's hard to follow what John had. Like it's he had a little everything. But you know, Joe had a lot of stuff about like, the show itself, like the concert, and you had, the surrounding instances of it. So folks, just saying, like, you define what your top 5 are. Like everybody has their own different parameters for what that includes. So the rules are, there are no rules, as they said on that movie Grease. Everyone expected me to reference, I'm sure. There you have it, folks. There's Bryan's top 5 concerts. If you have been a panel member and would like to do this yourself, you know where we are in the Discord. Find us. And until tomorrow, we'll see you tomorrow. Repetitive, but same